Y'all, I am back with another video. I know y'all probably like, girl, how you gonna make just 2 videos about school and you just don't make no other video? I know, I'm sorry y'all, but listen, on the bright side, I feel like now you get to go through the actual journey with, you know, like trying to figure out what I was trying to make up excuses. Anyway, I just be forgetting, y'all. I be seeing, like, if I see some comments, I reply back to them. And even one lady had reached out to me, Lord, I love her for that, because I didn't think people were actually gonna watch my journey. But I'm back. This is gonna be a good update because I'm gonna give y'all all the stuff you need to know. Okay, so I'm currently at the end. It's been a journey. I'm at the end. I have 5 more weeks to go. I was supposed to be done in March. However, we're gonna get to that later. But I'm at the end. I'm at the last term. I start that April 1st. When I left off with fundamentals. In fundamentals, I'm gonna wind it back. Before I start, I'm in a fast-paced program, so I don't know how other schools do it. And then another thing is, my school is an ATI-based school, not HESI. So give me that. You sure get here and start rambling and stuff. Give my passport. So yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is I go to ECPI in Columbia, South Carolina. I stayed almost in Georgia, almost in Augusta, Georgia. However, I drive back and forth to Columbia, which is like an hour commute. So I don't know if every state or every city that has ECPI is the same. I don't know. I'm not sure. However, this is what Columbia, we do it in Columbia. So far, you know, my journey, like I said, my journey came to an end, but it was a great overall experience for me to not have known nothing about the medical field. Now I have learned a lot. It's been hectic. So I left y'all off on fundamentals. When I first we had fundamental psychology and dosage. Dosage is a self-paced classroom. It's in Columbia. Dosage is self-paced. You know, it's gonna be a teacher in there, but everybody gonna learn math different. Everybody has their own ways about learning stuff. It's different. I think I thought we had a Saturday class. We did not have Saturday classes. We ended up with a Saturday lab. So what you do is you learn your stuff, you learn your skills in the lab. You get checked off on your skills in the lab. And then you take the skills that you got checked off on and you take that with you to clinical. So then you would perform that skill in front of a clinical instructor. You making all type of noise. In front of clinical instructor. That's my youngest, TJ. Say hey, TJ. Hey. So yeah, you learn that. You learn that skill. You do that skill at wherever clinical site you at, and you do that in front of your clinical instructor. Now your clinical instructor will go on that same paper where you got your skills checked off at in the lab. They will go and put it that you can perform that skill in the clinical setting. So that's what we had the Saturday thing for, was for labs. So we had clinicals on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we had lab on Saturdays. So we had fundamental, that was term 3. So term 4 we had I got my stuff for y'all. Term 4 we had fundamentals 2 and we had pharmacology. Fundamentals 2 was just a continuation of fundamentals 1. And pharmacology, what I can say, because a lot of people had asked me about pharmacology, when you get to pharmacology, do not try to learn all the meds. Do not try to learn all the meds. What I can tell you is learn the classification, learn your prefixes and your suffixes. That's it, that's all. Learn your prefixes and your suffixes. If you see LOL, it don't matter if it's propranolol, metoprolol, atenolol, whatever. As long as you see that old LOL at the end, you know that's a beta block. And you will automatically know, oh, a beta blockers do this, it works for this, it works for that, you know, da-da-da-da-da. So then you will see your prils. You know your prils, you don't have a cough, you know, angioedema, you know, stuff like that. Once you see that, it's gonna start coming to you. Know your classifications, your suffixes and your prefixes. Once you know that, you don't have to learn every medication, because when you see it, it's going to come to you. You're going to know what to look for. You're going to know what not to look for. You're going to know what to, what's contraindicated, stuff like that. That's for pharmacology. That's for pharmacology. I don't know what it is. So that was term 4. Term 5, we just had fundamentals 3. And I'm just going off my schedule. Some people had extra classes that they had to take, like reading and another psychology. However, I did not have to take those because my credits had transferred from my community college to here. So I'm just reading off what I had on my schedule. You may have, if you didn't take reading, you may have reading probably with fundamentals 3, and then you're gonna have a psychology. I don't know, I forgot what term it was because I didn't have to take it. So if you got credits, transfer it, because it'll lower your balance. It's a little steep, but I mean, it was worth it in the end. So term 5 was fundamentals 3. And one thing I can tell y'all is you're gonna have proctors. My school is ATI school. We do ATI proctors. Proctors are a test that you're going to take off what you have learned. So you're going to have a fundamentals proctor, you're going to have a mental health proctor, you're going to have 2 proctors in your maternal newborn, which will be maternal, mother and baby, and then the care of a child. And you're going to have pharmacology. These are all the 5 that you have to pass when you get in 213. They will let you keep going to your next classes and let these proctors pile up. You have to make a level 2 or above on the proctors. If you make them level 1, they will have you do remediation. Once you do your remediation, they will let you retest. You take that test, the proctor, 2 times in that classroom. And if you don't pass the second time, you do your remediations, and then you have time to take it again. However, when you get to 213, if all of these are not, you don't have a level 2, you can still pass your classes. But if you don't have a level 2 on all of these, they will not let you go to the last term. That's what happened to me. I had passed all my classes, all my proctors, but when we got to 213, you have a pharmacology proctor. I could not pass that proctor for nothing. I was out by a couple points both times. So the last time you take it, it's going to be the last week. So if you don't make that level 2, you don't get to go to your last class, which is 233. Your last class, you're going to have proctors. You're going to have 2 comp proctors, management, and then, out the door. However, if you don't get them proctors done before you get to 233, you can't go. So I passed all my classes, but I only had that 1 proctor that kept me back. So I had to sit out 5 weeks for the whole month of March. I cried, I boo-hoo, me and y'all, we was tight. We made it all the way to the end. All of us made it together. Like, we really made it together. It was 20 of us, and only 7 made it to the last term. So it was emotional. It was, so I did what I had to do. In that next week, I took my test and I passed my proctor. So now what I'm going to do is, I was on nights, so now I'm going to go back on April 1st, and I'm going on days. So I'm gonna do my last 5 weeks on days, take my all my tests, and do my NCLEX. But yeah, get your proctors done. So when we was in fundamentals 3, we had a fundamentals proctor, then a dosage. You had a dosage. When you have your dosage, you can only make you can't make under 80, I want to say, but it wasn't like a proctor. You just had to make a certain score. You get what I'm saying? So that was fundamentals 3 and the proctors. So now term 6 started med surge. Med surge, the first class of med surge we had was mental health. Mental health was mental health in us. We felt like we had mental issues. However, that's when clinicals also had changed, because we did all our skills, our lab skills, with our fundamental lab teacher. So she made sure she checked off all our skills. So we didn't have skills. So what they did with us is, instead of us going to proctors on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we just went to clinicals on Saturdays. And we just had classes during that Monday through Thursday, out Friday, then we had clinicals. So that was mental health. mental health would have you thinking like, what in the what? And then like it was so much going on. Yeah, woo! I was so glad to get out of it. So our mental health clinical instructor, she did find us a mental health conference. Our class had nothing but African American females. It was 20 of us, 20, and she found us a mental health women's conference at a African American church, and we went there for our last clinical, and it was an experience. It was a wonderful experience. I thank her for that. When you have your mental health class, you are gonna do like a psych rotation, and that was kind of cool. But they didn't have us like touching the psych patients. We were just like interacting with them, you know, seeing different stuff, reading their charts, and you would read some stuff that have you want to cry. But that's a part of being a nurse, you know. After term 6, we went to term 7, and that's when we got into like the systems, like the body systems, like the heart, cancer. Like we dived deeper into them, like issues that can happen with the heart, EKG rhythms, EKG strips, and then we end up going to cancer stuff that can cause cancer. We went into the stomach, what problems you can have with the stomach, and we continue doing our clinicals. Term 8, we skipped med surg 3. It's 3 med surg. We skipped the 3rd one and we went to acute care 1. That's when you talk about the mommy and the baby. So we talked, now that class, I'm not going to tell you it was easy, because it was not easy. That class, that and the heart, that was neck and neck. That wasn't easy. It's like once you hit that med surg 2, from med surg 2 on down, it was nothing easy about that. It was nothing easy. The instructors that we had made it easy. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to see us win, you know. So we got into mommy baby, and we couldn't get to, like, we didn't have a clinical instructor for mother baby rotation, so we just set out for clinicals. So what we did was we was just watching videos on YouTube, and we had like to write a 1 or 2 page paper about the video that we just watched, which I felt like that sucked, because for the people that wanted to go, you know, work with the kids, they didn't get no experience on that. So yeah, but don't underestimate mother baby. Mother baby was hard, and you have two proctors for that. You got one on the mother baby, and then you got one on just the child alone. Because in the beginning they teach you about the mama and the baby, and the mama going through the pregnancy stages and what happened to the baby. Then in the end they start teaching you about like the kids from a certain age to this age, you know. So yeah, that wasn't easy. I did end up leaving my factory job, my main factory job. I left there in July. I did leave. I did get my CNA, so I did have to take the CNA classes because I was in LPN school. So what I did was I challenged the board. I sent my transcript, and they approved me to skip class and just take my take both of the CNA exam. So I was able to take my written exam at home on the computer while somebody was watching me. So I did that. I passed the first time. Then I drove almost to Clemson on a Saturday, and my appointment was at 10 o'clock, but me and my partner didn't go till like 1:20. And then you had to wait, like, y'all, I was up tossing and turning all night, trying to checking the site to see if I passed, because she told us we would get it by the evening, and we didn't give it till like the middle of the night. I woke up no, I didn't wake up. My fiance woke me up. He was like, "Did you pass?" Because he kept like, "Did you pass? Did you pass? Did you pass?" And I finally woke up, and I was like, "Let me check," because I had been tossing and turning, checking it all night, and I ain't seen nothing. So I ended up passing that. So I am a CNA. I did become a CNA in July. I quit my job, and I became a CNA. So I was working at my local hospital on the cardiac floor. I had worked there for a long time, as well as on the days I didn't have class. I was there on the nights. So on the days I didn't have class, or if I just wanted a little extra money, I would go in and sub with the kids, because I wanted to be around kids, since I thought I wanted to be a pediatric nurse. But anyway, just extra money. So I was a sub during the day, student nurse at night, and then on the weekend I worked at the hospital as a PCT. So yeah, I had to give y'all a little everybody. I did quit. I took a pay cut. But I'm just looking at it for the bigger picture, like you gonna get that soon. So term 9 was the last med surge, and that was more so dealing with, like, problems with the skin, and it was a continuation of all your systems. I'm trying to figure, I can't really think of what we talked about in there. I know we talked about neuro, skin, stuff like that. 213. 213 is your last stop before you get to 233. And 213 was bittersweet to me, because I felt like, okay, this is my last stop, and then my next class is gonna be my test out class, basically. But a lot of us stopped at 213, and it was very, very emotional, because we started from January to February, January 2023, all the way to February. Now all of us stayed stuck together. We had got some along the way. It was probably like 6 came along the way, and then we ended up getting 2 extra in the 213 class, and it was just like, oh wow. The class itself was not hard. It was just like, I just felt like, to me, I knew I could do well on my practice because I did well on the previous practice. But to me, I think it was more like a time crunch, because I felt like if I don't get this practice right, I don't go to the next class. And it was getting to the point where it was like beating. My head would beat every day. And then not only that, I ended up getting sick the first week. Like, the whole week I was sick. So I came to school that Monday because we had an exam. Took my exam, was out Tuesday, and I was just filling myself up with medication, because you can only miss 2 days of school. So I stayed out there Tuesday, but I ended up going back that Wednesday. And it was just like, y'all, it was so much. I got sick the first week. No, that was the second week. I got sick the second week. Came back, still didn't feel like myself, but I still was passing the class. But you take the proctor in the 4th week, the 4th and 5th week. The 4th week I took it, I didn't pass it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to force myself to watch videos. Wherever I went wrong, I'm trying to figure out. So during the 5th week, I had to retake the test. So when I retook the test, I still did not pass. So out of 20 of us, it was... it was 7. Out of 20 of us, it was 7 that went to the last term, and the rest of us had to sit out. So you had the option to sit out 5 weeks and come at April the 1st on days, or you had to sit out 10 weeks and come back May the 6th on nights. So lucky me, I was able to sit out 5 weeks. So I start my last term April the 1st, and then May I would get pen. I think it's May 23rd. We all got the invitation for graduation. Our big graduation, that's penning. Penning is May 23rd. But everybody who got pen from January to June will graduate at the same time. So our graduation is June 29th at 10 o'clock in Columbia. So, we all was like, dang, we made it to the end. We was crying. It was hurtful. But now we're looking at it as if, we getting pinned at different times, but we all graduating together. And I really wasn't going to go to the graduation, because I was like, man, I'm about to be a nurse. I ain't worried about no graduation. But then it's like, no, because we all get to come together once again, because we all rode together. That was a ride that we all rode. And one thing our clinical instructor had told us that, everybody don't get to the station at the same time, which I was like, okay, cool. So the DON, she was like, you got it. I know you got it. So she told me what all I need to do. I've been doing my ATI dynamic quizzes and stuff like that. And the girls that went forward, they check in like probably 2 times a week, to make sure we all right and what we need to know, what we need to look forward to. So that's kind of like, for us, we'll be ahead of the game. And stuff we need to do for like our LPN. Because you have to sit, you have to have certain stuff before you can sit for your NCLEX. So like your birth certificate and all that stuff, make sure it's up to par, your address up to par, your names and stuff like that was up to par, and you was, good to go. So that was my journey, and I brought y'all all the way, I brought y'all up to par from then to now. I brought y'all up the part. That's the end. I brought y'all up the part. Make sure that when you get in, you take your practice seriously and don't let your practice pile up on you, because when you let your practice pile up on you, you're going to be in your 213 class trying to take 3, 4, 5 practice at one time. And that's where you're going to be in the time crunch. Don't let that be you. Do like me and go ahead and try to pass them on the first time. So if you do got to retake a proctor, because you got to retake all your stuff before you can even jump back in that last class. So if you do have a proctor to take or something like that, make sure you get all your stuff done before you even get to 233. So when you get to 233, the only proctor you have to worry about is your pharmacology proctor. And with your pharmacology proctor, make sure you just learn your classifications. Learn your classifications. Try to go ahead and see if you know what's the adverse effects and contraindications. Once you know them two, you good to go. Most of your adverse effects is going to be nausea, vomit, diarrhea. As long as you know your adverse effects and your contraindication, when it's time to take that pharmacology product, that's all it's going to ask you. And it's going to ask you a little couple stuff about, other stuff. But that's my journey. I brought y'all all the way from the last video, from turn 3 all the way to where I'm at now. I put a pause. What I plan to do is try to vlog my last 5 weeks, because I feel like these last 5 weeks are special to me. So I would like for y'all to, come on my last 5 weeks journey. And I feel like during days I would have that time to, because I don't have to worry about work. I don't have to worry about this, that, and the third. So I'm going to try. I ain't say I was. I'm going to try to bring y'all my last 5 weeks journey. And let y'all know what it is. But to my understanding, they said that it's basically just a refresher of what you learned for the whole nursing school. Some of the proctors are hard, but I don't know. I'm gone, y'all. I updated y'all. I refreshed y'all. I told y'all I was going to bring y'all a video. It was old. I came looking bummy, but I did it. I gave y'all the video. And I promise you, I'm going to give you some more nursing content, because now I feel like I know how it feels to wait for something. So now I got to, give y'all the update. That was it. That's it. That's all, y'all. And I'll be back soon.
Bye-bye.
And TJ said bye, y'all. I will be back soon. I promise you. When? I don't know. I'm going to try to give y'all my come with me, my last 5 weeks. But I'm not good at editing and stuff like that. But I'm going to try. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to try. Y'all stay easy. Stay peaceful. Stay true and be you. No matter what you do, don't give up. Alrighty, guys. Peace.
I just want to make it. I just want to make it like I was